Hey, Craig, let's get into some coffee talk.
Hey, I love it. I love doing some coffee talk.
Well, talk about what?
Dogs, daughters, whatever. It's coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
Are you having some coffee, Mr. Jason?
It's a coffee talk. Are we rocking and rolling?
We're rocking. I hit record. I just figured I would catch you off guard.
Well, I do have coffee, and we are talking, so I think we have all the ingredients, Mr. Craig.
Are you the operator? Operator?
Operator.
Hey, flapper.
One of my favorite Craigisms.
Is the operator? Hey, operator. Why do we have it
Yeah,
set
operator.
up like, look at this. We got to be like that. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Ooh, Mr.
It's
Craig,
like
Mr. Jason.
I'm twice the size. Well,
Twice. Twice.
That's what Michael Scott said.
So, gosh, what a week, man. Right?
Oh, another insane in the membrane week.
Insane, got no brain.
Got no brain because I'm going insane. Now that everybody's changed the channel,
Yeah.
let's talk about. Well, we hit on the hot seats last time.
No, actually, we talked about the process and, writing down on that blank page.
Oh yeah, processes.
Yeah. But I do want to talk about hot seats, my man. We did talk on the Teledudes about how awesome and important the hot seats are, which is where you have your team listen to a sales call or whatever in running those plays. But it was really interesting talking to George. We were
Mr.
talking to
Carbonell?
George. Yes. He grew up playing sports, and what's his name from Farmers? The
Jake?
coach.
Jake from State Farm.
Yes, Jake from State Farm. Well, anyways,
Coach.
so
Randy.
yeah, Randy. So
Randy Walker?
So there's all this talk about coaching, right? And but like we really the agents that we've talked to that have been incredibly successful run their agencies like a sports team. I'm not a big sports player myself.
No.
If you
Or
can't tell from
watcher.
my physique or whatever.
Right?
Or
You've really gotten me out of sports too. I just don't care anymore. Maybe it was the virus. I don't know. I can't watch games where there's cutouts.
right.
It just is lame. I'm sorry. If you want to argue with us about that, 520-214-2219.
Oh, you've memorized it now.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can remember now.
At your age?
Yeah, I have the old timers.
Well, I really like your mustache. So if you're just listening to this, you have to check out the YouTubes to see Craig's mustache. But before we're way off
Look at the
track,
sun on my nose. What is that?
we've got the gigglies, everyone. We've got the gigglies. Let's go back to coaching.
Yeah.
Running your agency like a team is kind of a theme that we're hearing. You know what I mean? There's a lot of coaching. There's a lot of plays being ran. There's a lot of reviewing those plays. And if you think about our agencies in that manner, how could a sports team ever get better if they weren't reviewing their own plays, if they weren't practicing plays for the upcoming event?
Or
What about
the
if they didn't even have
competition's
a
plays?
or reviewing the competition's plays? I mean, literally, you can map it out to sports 100% the way any successful agent runs their agency.
Yeah. You're going to have the plays. You're going to review the plays. You're going to practice the plays. And dare I say the name Allen Iverson? Because I don't know if you know who that is. Or do you know who that is?
I've heard of him.
You've heard of him. Well, and her Allen, not Ellen.
Yeah, okay.
So-
Gigglies.
So it's a great video. If you're a millennial, you may not know this. You may not have heard of him, but he's a real famous basketball player. And one of his things was practice, right? They talked about practice, and there's a whole rant. It's on the YouTubes, but he talk about practice. We're talking about practice, and he does this whole thing where he doesn't think he should practice. But again, I don't think he won a ring. And if you look at him versus Kobe maybe didn't need to practice, right? Or some would argue, but I mean, he practiced more than everybody. I talk about Kobe all the time. I mean, I grew up a Lakers guy, and I mean, the practice, the plays, the tapes, like all of those same things, and yet he, being one of the best players of all time, arguably the best player, I don't care what you say, LeBron fans, he still had a coach, right? Still had a coach. So whether you're looking at it as you're the coach or you go to a coach, right? Like it's so important, all of those aspects of the whole thing. And I don't know where you were going with this.
Or if you have a coach purse. Right?
That too. Yeah. My wife doesn't think that's good enough. It has to be the Louis Vuitton.
Oh, you guys are fancy.
I mean, no, I'm not fancy. She can, the saying goes, she could spoon the money out the back door faster than I can shovel it in the front door. So.
I love it. I love it. But no, the sports play or the sports team analogy is huge. And it goes to it, and it's very uncomfortable, especially before you do this. And I want to harp on that because I did not want to do these things when we first started, and it was very uncomfortable. But I once we started doing it, it became something that is indispensable in our agency. But when you really think about like working out or anything that you want to achieve, even let's say you bought your agency, the steps to take that hurt, that was painful, that was hard, that was difficult. But going through that process is what got you where you are. And if you look at anything that you've achieved in life, it's hard to get to that level, right? So we need to push ourselves. It should be difficult. And you don't be complacent. If you're complacent, you're not moving ahead. And what we learned more than anything, especially this last year, is that we need to be ahead, because talk about some curveballs this year. You know what I mean?
What curveball?
Like there's going to be more and more curveballs. We're moving fast right now. We're moving real fast. Yes. Yeah, there was a curveball. There was multiple curveballs.
Yeah.
We're moving fast as a society, and you better be leading the race and not chasing it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are some things you can do?
Well, research. For one thing, educate yourself, right?
Uh-huh.
It's just getting that education of things that might be foreign to insurance, which is marketing, right? Internet marketing. Even if you don't do any kind of internet marketing, like you need to grasp concepts of it to be able to push yourself to the next step with your agent. I don't care what kind of insurance agent you are, what kind of agency you run. Things can be shut down. We all learned that this year, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to have things in place. Learn these tools. There's so many great tools that you have, digital tools that aren't replacements for things. What they are is enhancements. They're things that will make you better. They're tools so that you can, for one person, can do 5 times the amount that somebody's doing, without these tools. So if one person, you can get 5 times the amount of work out of it. Like, could you imagine if your agency could do 5 times the amount with what it has now? And and like you always say the fish rots from the head, right?
It sure does. As
the agency owner, you need to learn these things. You need to research all the stuff that's out there, because it's super easy to now with the Tubes View and Facebook. I mean, with everything. Tubes. Yeah. Learn these things, man. It can give you the incredible leverage that can really take you from following the trend to leading the trend, to being the authority, and who knows, the sky's the limit, right?
Yeah. Well, part of being successful at entrepreneurship or owning your own business is being liked, right? People have to like you if they're going to buy from you, and you have to be the expert. And you become the expert. It was so interesting what our guest that we just interviewed just said about that, and he'll be on down the road here probably, but talking about the number one thing that an agent can do, right, is start a YouTube channel, be the expert, right? All of the kids, like, this is funny. Kenzo, my son, he was in the living room. He didn't have the TV on, but he was on the couch. And I was like, what are you doing out here? Like, he's never out in the living room and on the couch, like in like TV watching position. Now, he didn't have the TV on. He still had his iPad and was watching YouTube on it. But that's how everybody, probably under 30, consumes audiovisual media, right? Is on YouTube. And every single person has the opportunity to make a channel. It's free. Anybody can do it, right? There. Yep. And they will watch it if it's this video where you put the phone in front of you and you just start going. And how easy is that, right? It's not something you need to research. It's not something you need to go figure out. I mean, as an agent, you already know what coverages are. You already know everything there is to know about insurance. And all you need to do is make 2-minute videos about it. Put one up once a week. In a year, you'll have 52 of them, right? And maybe a few followers. And you can't get discouraged. I only have 10. I've been doing it for 3 months. Keep going. Because the more you've been going, the more of an expert you become. Then you can, I'm just shooting off the cuff here, but on your emails that you shoot out, you can say, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? You can get people to do it in the same way. Like here, don't forget to subscribe to to the Insurance Dudes YouTube channel, right? Like, just did it. Somebody is going to subscribe because of that. And that's what you can do, all day long. And it's fun. Yep.
It is fun. Some other things, I would say there's so many useful things that you could do. You could do that. There's a little bit of a barrier to entry, but you can Google it or YouTube it and figure out how to do it with your iPhone. One easy thing is own your Google My Business. I know we've talked about this in the past, but just go on Google, own it, and get reviews to it. Yeah. Ask people for reviews. Gotta ask for a review, because here's the thing. I don't care if you have a line out your door, and perhaps if you do, that's the way, you're crushing it, right? But every single person in that line at some point is going to go on Google and Google you, right? So if that's the case, wouldn't it be nice when they typed in your name that they saw a million great reviews, maybe some videos over here, maybe something over here? Yeah. Right? Yeah. So maybe it'll help you convert one extra person per 10, 10%, maybe 5% higher. And it's just about moving the needle. And as we look into the next few years, is setting yourself up for success to lead instead of being left behind.
Yeah. Owning a piece of real estate on the interwebs, right? You have your own piece of real estate, which is your Google My Business. All you have to do is log in there. You can download the app. You can do everything from your phone. You could post a picture. I mean, I've heard, and it's actually, we're not as good at it. It's one of those processes that I'm inspecting this week because it was supposed to be done and it's not quite there yet. But they're supposed to post something, post a picture. Doesn't really matter. Like a picture of the team, a picture of somebody doing a quote, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But you have to get you do that thing, and all of a sudden Google starts pushing you up in search, right? At least in Google My Places, if somebody searches insurance, you're going to pop up. And so there's little tactics that you can do to really make that happen. Now with the reviews, we've done really well in getting a lot of reviews, and it's because on reviews. So we actually have one of our telemarketers calls, sets appointments for my review person. So she has 5 to 8 reviews a day. And one of the questions on her sheet, there's a whole framework that she follows. And one of the questions she asks is, hey, would you give me a review? And they go, oh, I don't know how to. Great. I'm going to send you over the link right now. I'm going to email it. Send it over. Did you get it? Great. Click on it. And put a review and put my name in it. If you mention my name, I get a little bonus. And everybody wants to help her, right? Can you help me out? I get a little bit of a bonus. and I give her $5 for every time that her name gets mentioned in a review. All right. So she has an incentive to ask. The person feels obligated to do it because they want to help somebody make a little bit extra money, and everybody wins.
And how long does that review last on the interwebs? When does it go away?
It goes away. How about never? It's there forever. Forever.
How never. I love it. That's true. I mean, where's Google going?
I don't
Nowhere
know,
yet.
Aren't they a startup?
I think, right.
At the end of the universe, it's going to be Google and Amazon, and maybe they'll be the same company at some point. It'll be Google, Amazon,
Gamazon, Google, Gamma Google,
Gamma Google,
Gamoogle.
Oh,
Gamoogle's
I don't know,
on.
man.
So this is what happens when you record a lot of episodes in one day. This is what happens to Mr. Jason and Mr. Craig.
That's right.
But if somebody has a question for us, what can they do, Mr. Jason?
They can text us directly to our cellular telephones at 520-214-2219. Grab that phone out of your pocket,
So
pick
whip it out
right now.
Whip it out, and
You be careful there, Mr. Craig.
and type in the little text. Push the little text thing at the bottom, and type 520-214-2219.
Boom.
And say, "Hey, Mr. Jason, we just started getting internet leads, but we don't know what to say when the person says that they're not interested. What should we do?" And guess what? We'll answer that question right here on Coffee Talk, and we'll send you a T-shirt just for asking the question.
Yep. So please subscribe to this podcast, subscribe to our YouTubes. Oh, and we have a new podcast if you're interested in telemarketing and what telefunnels can do for your agency. Our Teledudes podcast, and that crushes it on telemarketing info.
Yeah, and we're not just blatantly
That's
selling
it.
telemarketers to you. What we're doing is going over all of the secrets that we've learned over the last couple of years in building these teams and writing over hopefully 300K this month. But
I'll sell you, Mr. Craig.
oh, what you said.
And that's a coffee
That's a coffee talk. I like the apple mug. See you next week.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to write 100,000 in premium
Yes.
off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes, it's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's
Okay.
520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.
Nice.